Hi everyone, this is Spring, the fiber enthusiast. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do some Tunisian crochet. We're going to do what is called Tunisian crochet on the bias or corner to corner for another type of reference. So you're going to need some of your favorite yarn and your favorite Afghan hook to match. I have a G Afghan hook with some Aran worsted weight yarn. So you're going to place a slip knot on your hook, just like such. Now, if you want to test this out, and you don't have an Afghan hook or Tunisian hook, well, that's simple. Find yourself a hook that has a long shaft that is relatively the same size for a good distance. All right, so now that we have our slip knot on our hook, you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Turn your work on its side. Go through the back bumps on your chain into the second one from your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, and now into the last one, yarn over and pull up a loop. You now have 3 loops on your hook. We will be increasing on each side and not in the center. When we go to decreasing, it'll be the same thing on each side and not in the center. Now that you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and chain 1. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2 more. So if I turn this and bring it up a little bit, you can see in between the stitches, you can see the white board or my finger passing by them. That's where we're increasing. So I'm going to go into the first one, yarn over and pull up a loop. 2 loops on my hook. Now I'm going to go to that center Tunisian stitch, the vertical bar, and simple stitch. 3 loops on our hook. Now I'm going to go into that next space, yarn over and pull up a loop. 4 loops on our hook. And now you go into the side of that last stitch as normal, yarn over and pull up a loop. So now we have 5 loops on our hook. We're going to continue to do the same thing, yarn over, chain 1, and then yarn over and go through 2 at a time until you have reached the end of the row and have 1 loop left on your hook. Okay, so now we're going to go back through and do another increase row. Now you can kind of see those squares a little bit better. There's one right there at the end. You're going to insert your hook into the first one, yarn over and pull up a loop. That is for our increase. Now we're going to Tunisian simple stitch the next 3 stitches. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Again and again. Now all we have is the space between the stitch we just worked and our last stitch. So insert your hook into that last space there, pull up a loop, and then work that last stitch. Okay. Yarn over and chain 1, yarn over and go through 2, yarn over, go through 2 more, and continue working across till you have 1 loop on your hook. And we're just going to keep repeating this where we're increasing into those spaces between your first and second stitch and between your last 2 stitches. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. Tunisian simple stitch all the way to the second to the last stitch. Okay, here we are at the end. We have one actual stitch left and our space between. So we're going to yarn over and do that increased stitch before we work the last stitch. Now we can work that last stitch. You have 3, 6, 9 stitches on your hook. Yarn over and chain 1, yarn over and go through 2 at a time until you have reached the end and have 1 loop left on your hook. Okay, so I've worked my way back across on my back pass. That is all I'm going to do for increases due to the fact I'm using a shorter shaft. I don't want to get it all discombobulated here, so we'll go ahead and start our decreases now. Okay, so to do the decreases, we've done our increases until we have gotten to this point. And how do you tell whether or not your square is big enough or where you would like it? Rotate it sideways, and from your hook to your starting chain is as wide as it's going to be. Okay. Now, this is your stitch. These next 2 stitches, we're going to Tunisian simple stitch them together. So we're going to 2 together like this. Insert your hook underneath the next 2 stitches, yarn over and pull up a loop. Now you just turn those 2 stitches into 1 and have 2 loops on your hook. Now you're going to go to the last 3 stitches available. Tunisian simple stitch across to the last 3 stitches. So we have our last stitch down here on the end, this one and this one. You're going to Tunisian 2 together the next 2 stitches. And now you're going to work your last stitch as normal. Make sure you're getting both of those bars on that last stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Now yarn over and chain 1 just like we've been doing, and then yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2 more, and continue across until you have 1 loop left on your hook. Let's do that again. All right, so this very first stitch here is actually on your hook. We're gonna Tunisian 2 together. So your next 2 vertical bars, yarn over and pull up a loop, making them 1. Now we're gonna work to the last 3 stitches. And in our case here, we only work the next 1 Tunisian simple stitch, and then we're down to our last 3 stitches. So Tunisian simple stitch 2 together, and then turn your work on its side there and catch those 2 legs and work that very last stitch. Yarn over and chain 1, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2 more, yarn over, go through 2 more, and yarn over, go through the last 2. Okay, here we are. We're going to do our last decrease row here. So again, we're not using this. This is our first stitch. The next 2 vertical bars, we're gonna go under them, yarn over and together. So Tunisian simple stitch 2 together. Now we have 2 stitches left, 1 vertical bar and our very last stitch. We're going to go under that vertical bar and into that very last stitch, yarn over and pull through both of them just like that. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. Go ahead and yarn over, chain 1, and then yarn over and go through all 3 loops that are on your hook. There you go. Okay, so we have now completed our on the bias. Now, because of the nature of the beast here, it naturally curls. You can place a border around the edge, and then you would cut off from your working ball of yarn and sew in your ends. But I'm not going to, because I'm going to rip this back out. Okay, so here you have it, everybody. This is your Tunisian on the bias or corner to corner. I hope that you have enjoyed this little tutorial on how to do this stitch. If you have, please give me the thumbs up and let me know down in the comment section. I greatly appreciate it. Until next time, everyone, be blessed and be a blessing. Bye for now.